Hey everybody. Said you guys up in the new studio. You ready? Here we go. Gonna kick it off with my headset. It's the Stuff I Heard podcast. I'm your host, Josh Peak. And thank you for joining in. Today happens to be Saturday, episode 114. It's Saturday, June 15th of 2019. I am talking to you from the now empty podcast studio. I say podcast studio very loosely. This used to be a children's room. One of my children had a bedroom in here, and now they're not. Now they're gone. This happens to be Father's Day weekend. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers out there. Hi. To my dad, to my stepdad, guys who played the role. You know who you are. There's a lot of us dads out there that are trying to do the right thing. And listen, we do the best we can, and sometimes we do a good job, and sometimes we don't. But we try, hopefully. I mean, that's what you would hope. I know that some dads fall short, some dads get distracted. Let's face it, there's a lot of dads who don't want to participate, and so they run away. Run away! But there are a lot of dads out there that do the hard work, and I work with a lot of those guys. I sit in the truck with them on a regular basis, and we have conversations about how they're always trying to figure out how to do the right thing, and, you know, I don't know what to do with my kid. I'm trying to teach them this, I'm trying to teach them that. And they just won't listen, and I'm like, yeah, imagine that. Imagine that. They just don't listen. But, you know, we do the best we can, and we hope that along the way they can somehow navigate the avenues of life without getting too hurt along the way. You know, when you're little, your mom tends to coddle you and, oh my baby, oh my precious, oh my, oh my, oh my. They're so perfect, they're so perfect, oh my goodness, I just want to love on them, oh my God, don't let nothing happen to them, let's wrap them in bubble wrap and make sure that nothing ever touches them ever, ever, ever. And dads kind of just look at them as, you know, hey, figure it out, like, you're going to get hurt along the way, but that's okay, as long as you get too hurt. We keep an eye on our kids, you know, us dads. We keep an eye on them. We try to tell them right from wrong. We try to steer them in the right direction. Often they don't listen. But along the way, if you see them about to get hurt too bad, you try to snatch them out of thin air. There's a video that circulates around social media with dads, you know, like at the playground holding one kid and pushing another kid on a swing. And some kid runs to go get, you know, run not paying attention. Is going to get clobbered by the swing, and the dad, like, one hand backwards, like, grabs the kid and stops him from getting hurt. Or his kid in the swing is flipping up too high and he goes to fall out, and dad catches him by his ankle, you know. You know, that's kind of what we're due, you know. We're supposed to be like, you know, hey, listen, go out there and have fun and just don't get hurt too bad, you know. I mean, that's kind of the reality, right? So anyway, big shout out to all the dads, to my dad, my stepdad, and all the people out there playing dad. Appreciate every one of you. And if you don't hear it, happy Father's Day. So anyway, off that, I mean, you know, it is what it is. Let's talk a little bit about stuff I heard, because this is the Stuff I Heard podcast. I heard that Tom Segura, comedian Tom Segura, host of Your Mom's House with his wife, Christina Pazynski, and Bert Kreischer, host of his own podcast, The Bertcast, are having a podcast together at Your Mom's House studio called Two Bears, One Cave. And I can't wait. They've already started to advertise it on social media. The running joke between them is that that they're big and hairy and best friends, and a lot of times they're silly with each other, and they have joked over the years that they think that life would be easier if they were just gay. And they were like, well, we're not like twinks, which is like a thin, you know, gay boy, fancy pants. But a bear is more like a man's man, but he's also a gay man. And so the joke is, you know, they're both bears, and so two bears, one cave. I guess the cave is the studio that they're going to do it in. And I'm looking forward to it. I look forward to listening to both of those guys. I enjoy both of their comedy, and I've heard them on podcasts together, and they're always a lot of fun because they're buddies, you know, and they're silly with each other. they try to make each other laugh, which is always funny. And you know, I'm in. I'm gonna be watching if they put it on YouTube. I'm gonna be listening if they put it on the old podcast, which they are gonna put it on the podcast. I've already subscribed. I'm a pre-adopter. You'll say that if they're making Kool-Aid, I'm drinking it. So yeah. A couple things in the brew. We have sold our exercise equipment that once inhabited this room. You guys may know if you watch on YouTube that I have often taken pictures of this room with the treadmill and the elliptical machine, and I even did a video one time about how to move your electrical outlets from one wall to the other and up high so that you could hide it behind a flat screen TV, which I'm looking at right now on the wall. I did a complete how-to video. I went into the circuit where I went into the wall here where the cable originally came in, and I went under the house. I found the hole that the cable went into. I drilled the hole a little bit bigger so that the cable will go out. And you're probably thinking, why would you make it bigger if it was already in there? Well, here's what happens. When they come to install your cable, they drill a hole just wide enough for the actual cable itself, not for the adapter. They feed the cable through, and then once it's up here, they put the little connector on the end, and then they put it to a little socket. Well, when they did that, I couldn't pull the wire back out to move it to the other wall, so I had to go in there and kind of chisel out a wider hole, and then pull the wire through, and then move the wire over. I then had to bust apart the opposing wall because there are fire breaks. Now, for those of you who don't know what fire breaks are, in your wall you have 2x4s, and every so often you have these little pieces that go across. They're called fire breaks. Supposedly, if you have a fire in your wall, it could help slow down the fire from burning. That's the idea. I think it also adds a good bit of structural support, and when they frame this house, they put them everywhere. So, not only did I need the cable to go into that wall across the way, but I needed it to go up about 6 feet tall, 6.5 feet tall, so that it would be behind the TV. I wanted all that stuff hidden so that you didn't see wires hanging all over the place. Now, a lot of people are going to look at that and think, well, that's just stupid. Why would you do that? And, you know, if you live with someone who wants things to be clean looking and organized and that kind of stuff, hi honey, I know you're listening, you'll figure out a way to make it happen. Now, when I did it, I had to cut drywall away and make holes through fire breaks and run wire, and then eventually patch up the drywall that was there. I took a drywall saw and cut sections, and then when I put it back kind of like a patch. You have the drywall and you put little pieces of wood behind it. You drill screws into it so it holds it, and then you put it into the hole and pull it out, and you drill holes through the other. Anyway, it's complicated. I did it, okay? I know right now if you're listening to this, you're like, what? I'm so lost. It looks good. It looks fine. It looks like a regular wall now. I fixed it. I painted over it. You can't even tell I ever did anything to it. And the best part is the TV is up there, and it's like magic. Suddenly it works, and everything's connected, and you don't see any of the wires. Now, I made that video on YouTube a long time ago. Probably, let's see. She started running in 2012, and boy, are her legs tired. No, I'm just kidding. She started running in 2012, and I think we did all this in like 2013 or maybe 14. I think it's 13. So it's been like this for about 6 years. I mean, it still looks great. We put the treadmill and the elliptical in here so that she could work out and get fit and stuff like that. That was before she joined the gym. Once she joined the gym, the equipment kind of sat here for a long time, and we've used it to hold clothes, Christmas presents, baby toys, a crib, not a crib, but like a pack and plate kind of thing. What else? Just a bunch of stuff. It's become the catch-all thing. And I was like, we got to get rid of this stuff. So anyway, we finally decided to get rid of it. We got rid of several things. And I was happy because, first off, getting rid of the elliptical allowed me to put this table in here that I've worked on for quite a while. I want to say I worked on this table for months until I got it to where I like it. And I like it. There is one thing I got to do, though, because I'm looking over here at my soundboard, and my brother and his wife, Michelle, gave me one of these bobblehead Boba Fett things, and I want to put it somewhere. I kind of need a shelf, like, on this wall that you guys are looking at on the YouTube. I got this wall here, and I kind of want to put that on there, because I don't have anywhere for it to sit where it's not, like, in the way. It'd be cool if I could put it, like, right there. I may do that. I may figure out what I can attach here to have it kind of come out and be up. And I want to decorate in here. I want to, move some of these running posters to a wall that you guys don't see, and put up some memorabilia stuff for the podcast. Does that make sense? I mean, I get guys that comment to me, and YouTube buddies and stuff like that comment to me, and like, hey, checking out the podcast, enjoying it, and they send me, sometimes they send me, stuff and bumper stickers and whatnot, and I'd like to put their stickers up on something. Maybe I can get like a piece of wood or something and hang it and have random stickers from people up on it. Maybe. Who knows? We'll see. It's in the works. So anyway, stuff I heard. All right, we'll go back to that because name of the podcast and all that. So this past week, when did I talk to you guys last? Was it Wednesday? Okay, so since Wednesday, a couple things have come out on TV, on Netflix specifically. I'm watching Jessica Jones. Now, Jessica Jones, you heard probably last week, Jamal and I were having a podcast, and she's part of the Marvel Universe. She is one of the first Marvel characters they did a show with. I can't remember the woman's name. Something Ritter plays Jessica Jones. This is the Stuff I Heard podcast, not the stuff I know. Anyway, she's really good. She plays an interesting character who's very colorful and drinks a lot and swears and sometimes breaks the law, and she's just trying to figure out what it is she's supposed to do because she has these superpowers, and she's not really sure how to control them or what they are. They keep changing. Like, she's getting stronger at times, and she's sort of morphing and finding out, oh, I can do that. Oh, wow, When that show came out, like, I didn't watch it, but I eventually got onto it and flew through all the episodes. I like the fact that I watched Luke Cage first, and then he was in season 1 of her show, and that was really interesting. Season 2 was good, and now we're in season 3. Now, season 3, I'm about 5 episodes into a 13-episode season, and I watched all of those today, this morning, before everybody got up and started moving around. I got up super early. It does that whenever I have one of these kind of jobs, you know what I mean? So anyway, I got up early and watched this, and I'm into it, like, already. It's good. There's lots of good information, a lot of fun stuff going on, new characters, new developments. Some of the characters have new abilities. It's cool. I don't really want to tell you what happened because I don't want to give anything away, but it's cool. So if you're into superheroes and you're into that kind of stuff, check out season 3. There are several things coming up. The 3rd season of Stranger Things is coming up. I'm getting excited about that. That's really good. I gotta finish Jessica Jones, and I will, because I just watched 5 episodes really quickly. I'm sort of filtering through. Not filtering. That's the wrong word. I am drudging through the final season of House of Cards after Kevin Spacey's character has left the show, and it's not as good. There's a reason he was the star of the show. They wrote the show around the idea that he was going to play this lead character, and his character was amazing, and now his character is not on the show, and you can tell. You can tell. The show had to pivot really hard, and there's new characters that I don't really care for. Diane Lane's in it, which I'm a huge fan of Diane Lane. Girl, what's up? Checking out my podcast. Anyway, she's in it, and so is Greg Kinneard, and I don't know, it just feels like they're trying to rush in a lot of characters to, I guess, revive the story, but it's just not as good without Kevin Spacey. It's just not. You know, sometimes you have lightning in a bottle, and it's hard to keep that lightning in the bottle, because if anything changes, the lightning can explode, or the lightning gets out, or, you know, whatever. I don't know where I'm going with this lightning reference. Anywho, I've had some people ask, hey, how do I do the little sound thing and leave you a message? Well, here's how you do that, because I keep getting people, you know, mentioning on the phone, hey, I want to send you a message. Download the Anchor app, okay? You can do it on your phone. That Anchor, it's like a purple-looking, iPod-looking doohickey. I think it's Anchor FM. Anyway, download it, create a profile, and then hit the little thing that's like a message thing, and just find me, send me a message with a little plus sign. Hey, check out the podcast, blah, 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 and send it to me. And I'll figure out how to grab the file and put it on here, and you guys can listen to yourself on a nationwide podcast. It's not just nationwide, it's international. I mean, like it exists out there in the cloud. And no one even knows what the cloud is, but it's out there. Yeah, buddy. I had a friend of mine reach out to me recently, and he's like, hey, I want to listen, but I'm not sure where to find you. Are you on iHeart? And I was like, ooh, I don't know. I don't know if I am on iHeart. And I wrote it back, and I was like, God, I don't know. When I look at my platforms of what's available, I'm given 9 different platforms that are a possibility, but I don't see iHeart listed. And about maybe 10 or 20 minutes later, he sent me a thing saying, yep, you sure are, here you go. I was like, oh, cool, I'm on iHeart, how about that? So anyway, it's kind of a little thing I'm proud of. I'm not really sure what I did to earn it either. Maybe it's from being consistent and doing this stuff twice a week, every week. Maybe it's you guys tuning in to listen. Hey, by the way, I appreciate every one of you. I'm asking my wife if she wants to be on, because she keeps telling me about stuff she's heard on these Disney podcasts, and she's like, no, not yet, not yet. There's a lot going on with Disneyland, because they've already opened Galaxy's Edge. She's telling me that she's heard that right now there is such a wait to try and get into it, they've had to limit who can get in to see Galaxy's Edge. Apparently you have to have hotel reservations at one of their 3 Disney hotels that they own in Disneyland, and you have to have a reservation, and you have to be like, there's like a waiting list. You got to get on the waiting list if you want to do it. And once you're in the park, somehow they track you, and you're only allowed to get in for 4 hours. You have a 4-hour time limit, and then stormtroopers apparently come find you and they escort you out, just to keep the people moving through a little bit. And I guess the idea is if they don't do that, then so many people flock over there and it becomes like a fire hazard. You can get hurt, and you know, that's not Disney friendly. They want you to have a magical experience, but they also don't want you to get killed in the process. So, you know, sort of creating their own situation, their own problem in a way, through their own success, which is, I guess, a good thing to have. You know, so kudos to them. My stepson went last night to go see the live-action version of Aladdin, and he was like, you know, Will Smith was really good, but you know, you guys can wait till it comes out on regular TV because it wasn't that great. I mean, it was good, but it wasn't. You know, I'd wait. Good to know. Glad I didn't spend the money. So I kind of feel that way about a lot of that live-action stuff. I get the fact that they're trying to make it look cool, and I know that Jungle Book, when they redid that, Jon Favreau was in charge of that, and I heard a lot of people talk about how great it was, and apparently it made a lot of money. We watched it when it eventually came out on the Fire Stick, and you know, it was interesting. I'm glad I didn't pay money to go see it, but it was okay. I could see how kids would like it. You know, Aladdin just came out. Now they're getting ready to do The Lion King. I think The Lion King comes out maybe in a month or so. You know, great, super. I've seen The Lion King so many times, I really don't want to watch a live version of it. I'll just be honest. I watched it so much as a kid, I don't care to watch it again. It came out when my brother was still a little kid, and we watched it a lot when he was a little kid. And then my kids eventually came around, and they wanted to watch it. And, you know, I'm 12 years older than my brother, and I was 20 when I had my first kid. So you can imagine, I've seen The Lion King a good bit. I was in the Marine Corps when it came out, and we watched it a ton. It's never, what was it? Was it The Lion King or The Little Mermaid came out when I was in the Marine Corps from 94 to 98? I want to say it was around 94. I just remember that a bunch of my buddies and we got a bootleg copy, and back when you could get bootleg copies on DVD, somebody would take a video recorder in a movie theater and record it and burn off a DVD, and he'd sell them out of the trunk of his car for like $10 a piece. And somebody brought it in and put it in the player, and we all watched it, and it was really cool. I was like, oh, this is neat. That may have been pre-DVD. That may have been VHS. God, I can't even remember when DVDs came out. It's weird because I want to say they've only lasted maybe 15 years, and now DVDs are becoming a thing of the past. I got a box over here full of DVDs that I don't watch. We own a Blu-ray player, but we honestly haven't watched a movie in it in years. Now everything's streaming. I wonder if these things will become relics at some point. If somehow they'll like regain their value because they're rare, and we have like some weird chest of it that people are like, oh my God, I can't believe they have this. You think? Maybe? I mean, hear me out. That's how stamps became a thing, right? And baseball cards. Is people had a bunch of them, and everybody thought it was no big deal, and a bunch of people threw them away. And then at some point, someone was like, oh my God, you got this rare thing, and now it has value. What do you think? Do you think DVDs will ever be that? Maybe I'm jinxing it just by talking about it. Maybe by me talking about it right now, I've just screwed up the whole space-time continuum, and they were supposed to be really popular at some point, but because I talked about it, now everybody's going to be like, it's no big deal. And it'll all go away. I don't know. On the subject of movies, Men in Black 2, 3, 4, whatever that is. What is it? The new Men in Black. Let's just call it the new Men in Black. It's got Chris Hemsworth and some chick in it. I don't know who the chick is, sorry. If you're the chick and you're listening to this, I don't know who you are. Came out this weekend. I haven't seen it, but I follow some people on Twitter who talked about it. They said it's pretty good. You know, how do you reinvent the wheel and have people go, oh cool, a wheel? I mean, to me a movie is like a magic trick. You get one shot to make the magic trick, okay? And if you make the magic trick really good and you go to remake it 20, 30 years later, is it still a magic trick? Do you still go, oh look, it's the bunny out of the hat? Didn't see that coming. Good job. Do you know what I mean? Maybe that's the problem with these live-action animated Disney shows that they're doing. Maybe people are like, yeah, how about that? There's a genie and a lamp. I mean, don't get me wrong. Will Smith's a great actor. And he's a comedy guy, sort of. You know, he used to be a comedy rapper. Maybe he's the only comedy rapper. But anyway, you know, now, golly, you can hear the microwave in this room. That's annoying. I'm gonna have to fix that. Can you guys hear that? I feel like Bert now. I just want to yell out, Leanne! Of course, in my case, it'd be Dolores. Not that she'd stop microwaving stuff, because our grandson is here, Little Jackson. Little Jackson's getting ready to turn 3. Him and his daddy went to the water park today. So anyway, they're home. Stuff's happening. I can hear the house coming alive. I probably need to wrap this up. I've only done 25 minutes. That sucks. I'm sorry. Wish I had like all kinds of stuff to talk about, but I ain't really done much. I've worked a lot. I worked a ton this week. And in between working, I've been working on building another chair. You guys can tell from the video, I'm sitting in the chair that I built, the first chair, the chair Uno, if you will. And I'm sitting at the desk that I made of cedar. Both pieces are cedar. And I made a third chair that's in the garage right now. And I have been working on it. When did I start it? I started it right after I did the podcast with Jamal on Wednesday. So he left here. I went out in the garage and I went, hey, I need another chair because people sitting in this little junky rolly chair is kind of not the way to go. I want another like decent chair. And I had two pieces that I cut loose from a big piece, and they sort of had an interesting curve to them. And I was like, how do I make this like into the back of a chair? Because that looks cool. And I just started putting pieces together. And before you knew it, I had a chair. I mean, literally, in a day, I took pieces, limbs, big pieces of wood that I cut into boards with the seat, and I pieced together a chair. And it looked great, and it was comfortable. You guys are going to see it, because I'm going to put it on Instagram. It's really comfortable. It's so comfortable that I'm thinking about putting it right where I'm sitting right now, and me sitting in it, and I want to have the guests sit in the chair that I'm in. For a couple reasons. One of the reasons is this cool, pretty bar that's at the top, it kind of leans to the left a little bit with your shoulder. Okay. On the left shoulder kind of leans in. Now, if this chair was in that spot on the opposite end of this table, then that lean would be perfect because you'd be leaning towards where the microphones are. As it is now, I'm leaning that way, and I'm leaning more away from the camera. I know this is all logistics, and if you're listening to this, you're like, we don't get it, dude. Move on. Okay. Happy Father's Day to all the fathers. I saw on Facebook today that on Mother's Day, no one expects mom to cook, but on Father's Day, dad still got a grill. Which is funny because it's true. I wanted to get together with my stepdad because for a lot of Father's Days, I've been out of town, either visiting my dad or visiting my wife's dad or just on vacation in general. And this year, we're home, and they're home. So I called his son up, Michael, and I was like, hey, Mike, you got any plans for your dad? Are we doing anything? He's like, well, let me call you back. I know they're supposed to be out of town for this day, and then they're out of town for this day. And he said, let me see if I can nail them down. I was like, all right. So I get a message back later, 4:30 their house, hamburgers. Which means my stepdad's grilling hamburgers on Father's Day. So I guess the meme is correct. So anyway, I appreciate you, Dan, and yeah. Y'all take care now. Happy Father's Day. All the fathers out there said, cue the cow. And that's it. That's all. Say bye now.